Okay. So here you can see the timing for our classes. Now the issue is we do not know how many of the weekends will be affected yet lah. So far I have not heard of any major weekend that is like Chinese New Year or Hari Raya first day lah. If Chinese New Year or Hari Raya first day, then of course we tunda lor. We have to postpone that particular weekend. So like today is the introduction briefing day. Then next week I will start already the new topic, which is accounts. So next week we will start doing accounts. Accounts will be my son teaching.
On the 10th, I'm being I attended online.
Online one. So you do not need to be online on the same timing. So the lecture, like now we are recording, right? So the lecture thing will be uploaded later lah. So you will be able to see whatever content of the lecture as you progress. Now this is in total 26. Okay, 26 classes. So normally, if let's say there is any disturbances, there is any timing where we will have to move, so this may be moved to July a little bit. But I would honor the 26 classes. Sure would give you all the 26 classes. So these 26 classes need not be equal as in the 6 subjects. So you will be some higher concentration, or some will be higher concentration, some will be lower concentration. Also, building technology and economics, these are the 2 easier subjects. Most people, when they attempt the first time 6 subjects, they will pass these 2, economics and building tech. The other 4, not necessary. Some people may have problem with accounts, some people may have problem with law, some people have tax problems, some people have marketing issue. Also, therefore, we will say we will put more effort into difficult subjects. So difficult subject as in tax, we put 6. Accounts we put 5, law we put 5, and then the marketing with 4. The reason why marketing is 4 is because marketing, in terms of its framework, the syllabus is actually quite easy. It's just that the way you write, the way you present, normally they are strict. They are strict in marking marketing paper. So I want to tell you all the 6 subjects here, they are all important subject to pass the exam. But in the eye of the examiner, and the eye of the board, the most important job as an estate agent, is actually marketing. Your job as an estate agent, the purpose of you here, the purpose of you being an estate agent is actually marketing. Or else you do not need a person to do this job. If you are just conveyancing, finding the buyer and then the buyer signs the conveyancing, actually lawyer is doing the job, right? If you're saying you want a value, how much is it supposed to be sold? Then it is a value job, not your job, right? So your job as a estate person, estate agent, is actually to try and get a buyer, try and get a tenant, right? To be marketing. The marketing part is the most important thing of estate agent. So that's why marketing is the hardest to pass, because they want to make sure anyone who passes this exam know what is marketing for estate agent. So as an estate agent, you cannot go and see your client and you say, I'm taking your listing, I don't know how to market for you. Or you cannot be estate agent that doesn't know how to do marketing. So this part, I would say, everyone understand. Then the important part of the taxes, important part of the law is for the purpose that you need to understand your job function. As an estate agent, you need to know your job. Your job means how are you going to take listing? How are you going to be engaged to represent the owner, represent the landlord? That part, you must know your law, where about your power is given to you. Your power given to you to do your job. So that is actually law related. And in the part 2, estate agency practice, estate agency law, these are the paper that is related to your job as an estate agent. Okay. Tax is important for the purpose that because you are dealing with transaction, so you need to know how much stamp duty your customer need to pay, how much is it involved in the real property gains, all that involving in tax. And if you are representing who? Developer. If you are representing developer, you need to think for developer, how the developer is going to develop a piece of land. So that involve what? That involve planning. That involve taxes. That is about development charges, premium paid for development. So all that is your job as an estate agent to advise the developer. Our job mainly involved in three big areas. First area is the area of transaction, whereby you involve yourself as a transactional agent. What is a transactional agent? Dealing with transaction of sale and purchase, dealing with transaction of renting the place, letting the place. Okay, that is your job as an estate agent. Second part of the estate agent's job is as an advisor. Or as an advisor, if you are involved with a big developer firm, let's say you are employed as an estate agent, a qualified person to be inside a developer firm doing sales training. So you are employed by Ibraco as a marketing executive. Now you can be employed, right, as an agent, employed by a developer firm, and then your function will be advising the developer how is he going to market his product, his marketing of product. So that is your possible second job. Or the third possible job is actually when you work with government. When you work with government, as in local council. You know that when you become a doctor, right? You become a doctor, you can work as a private doctor operating a clinic, right? You can work also as a government doctor doing government work, right? And you can work also with the university as a teacher, right? As a government teacher. So same thing for an estate agent profession. As an estate agent, you can be a GP, a general practitioner, where you deal with transaction. You can be also working for a individual organization, like a developer organization. Then you become the marketing person inside this organization. Or you can also work with government. Also, when you work with government as an estate agent, you'll be most likely working in the local government or in the aspect of likely related to land and land dealings. That is in the land office. Okay. All right, so let's say we have gone through this particular part. We will go back to the main this thing. So okay, we are going into compartments. Because I was once talking about these compartments, we need to go through in the second part of our today's lecture. Now is 1.5 hours to go. It's about different subject topic. So when you study for, let's say for example, you study for tax, what are the compartments that you need to know? Okay, and then you need to actually identify 4 to 5 topics that you need to learn. So in a subject, for example, of tax, then you need to know, okay, in tax, question will come out for what? Income tax. So I need to know what are the income taxes that will come out in the question. Then in the income tax also, it will ask you what is kadaran, what is rating, what is cukai pintu. So that is another question. So you need to study that area. Or another question. For example, when you are like me, I'm handling the shop lot at the Hospital Umum, just next to Hospital Umum. We did the mini expo there. So they are shop lot 24 shop lot now, and they are not rented out yet. And then when they have cukai pintu, they have to pay cukai pintu. How much? A few 100,000. Why? Because one shop lot is already 2,000. So when they need to pay 100,000 of cukai pintu, it's not rented out. So they can ask for the local government to give what? To give rebate or to give leniency in terms of no need to pay. So that part of the law is under the law in the aspect of local government ordinance. So under local government ordinance, when you work with associations or when you work with big company or when you work with the developer who has a lot of land, then you need to advise the developer what are the taxes involved. So these are not transactional tax. There are 2 types of tax. One is transactional, one is non-transactional. So the non-transactional tax are things like what? Things like cukai pintu. Cukai pintu is not sale and purchase, but you have to pay. The transactional type of tax is like what? stamp duty. When you do transaction, then you pay. So these are things that you need to understand. So you need to compartmentalize in answering your question or preparing for your examination, that there are certain part I need to study. So for tax, for example, income tax I need to study. So what part of income tax I need to study? Yeah, you'll be thinking like that. What part of the income tax I need to study to become an estate agent? Do you need to study for a purpose of advising your client? Or would you want to study income tax for a purpose of just advising a corporation? Right? So what are the things that as an estate agent you may be involved when your client asks you in the income tax purpose? So the normal thing to answer this kind of question would be, income tax will always involve with rental income, because your potential client, right, your landlord, right, will be asking you questions like, if I were to spend money renovation, doing renovation, can I benefit from the cost of renovating? So is my rental income able to actually get deducted so that my profit in the rental collection would not be taxed? Correct or not? Because you are the estate agent. You are supposed to get the renter for him. He wants to invest in this property, and then investing in this property means what? Making money out of the renter, right? So if making money out of the renter, it will be taxable, correct or not? So if you are talking about income tax area of study of this area of tax, then you need to understand how you're going to advise this particular landlord that you rent out and then you have rental collection in order to cut down the rental taxes. What are the things you can do? So you can advise in terms of how he is going to benefit from your service as an estate agent. Correct or not? So these are things that you need to study for income tax in the aspect of this particular examination, rather than studying income tax for those things like, I go holiday to Thailand, I go holiday to Hong Kong, I go holiday to, outside Malaysia, and I don't stay in Malaysia, and therefore I can save my income reported in Malaysia. So those are standard income tax questions when a person is not a resident. Tax resident means what? When you are in Malaysia for a period of time, you become a tax resident in Malaysia, you'll be subject to Malaysian income tax. So you can avoid yourself become a Malaysian tax resident by not staying in Malaysia for a certain number of days. Then you become outsider, you're foreigner, so you do not be subject to your income tax in Malaysia. So is that type of income tax important to you as an estate agent? It may not be so important compared to rental income issue, correct or not? So the rental income for income tax appear as a common question in the examination, because it is applicable and a daily work for an estate agent. So these are things that you need to understand when you compartment your study. Okay. So it's actually 50% passing only. You can actually choose question and so that you can pass just nice. No need to study so hard and spend all the time doing something which at the end only get you a 90 marks, and 90 marks and 51 marks, no difference. 90 marks pass, 51 marks also pass. So it's no difference if you can look into that. Okay so we'll just say this is the timing. Okay, I put down there here in the Google Drive already. So I want to now go into Google Drive so that you understand what are things in the Google Drive. So I have taken your email address. So this email address, I will do it inside the Google Drive. So this is the 2026 class Google Drive. So under my home, I will have different folder. I have different folder. Under the drive for folder 2026 examination. So this one, I will put your access to here. So with your email, you can access this particular folder. Also, this folder has got what are the things inside this folder? The slides that we have completed last week, and the slide that I'm using this week. Right? And then in the future, it will be subfolder. Folder A for account, folder B for different subject. So you will be able to access that particular folder to see the slide inside. Okay? And then these slides also will be presented in the case of the website. So you know that our website is called estateagentexam.com. So this is our main site. So now this main site, you need to sign in. I will have to help you to sign in. You have to make payment, and after that, I will give you your sign-in password lah. Then you sign in, and we will see what inside. So you sign in. Normally, when you sign in, you have access to all the different parts which are private. For example, you want to go to part 1, you want to go accounting, then you get to see all the subject accounting. First one is the syllabus. This is the syllabus. Okay, so you can read the syllabus here. So all the context of where about you need to learn is all here. So let's say I want to see past year question. So accounting past year question last year, 2025 accounting question. I did not upload lah because accounting question hard to upload because all is a chart one. I cannot copy out. Your exam cannot copy out. So I show you law last year question. So this is the law last year question. Agent appointment in agency contract. So the question asked was, this was 2025 question 7, agency appointment in agency contract. Why is such a short question? Because we cannot take the question out. So this one is my students, like Dino, they all go and copy with the memory and tell me. But you look at the past year question, let's say in law for 2022, 2018, let's say we go 2018, then this is the full question. So the full question will read like this. So that is the full question. With relevant example, describe the various sources of Malaysian law. So the question can be like that. This is exact question as in the exam. So let's say we read taxation, give you the example of calculation because just now Vivian said the calculation issue. So I show you 2017 question for tax. Okay. Income tax relief. They can ask you this type of question. So what is the question about? The question is about income tax relief. So the question asked was, explain 10 items that could be given tax relief under the assessment of income tax 2017. And discuss the lifestyle tax relief for 2017 assessment and what is the maximum amount that can be claimed. So this is an example of how question is asked. Okay, so of course you see the answer as in copy and paste. All this is from website. So this is how you can use your website access. Of course, you can study this way, taking the individual question answer and then read the answer. Then you reproduce yourself. When you go back, when you have time, take the question, do your own notes. That is one way of working on your question. Another way is using the search. So this question asks for what? This question asks for tax relief, right? So you tax relief. Correct not? Then you search. So all the past year question that relates to tax relief will come up. So in this manner, then you will be able to pick and choose the topic, the compartment that you are supposed to study. So in this case, 2017 got question, 2014 got question, and some of these questions can be my own design question. So when you study enough of that topic, you keep in your file, in your particular notebook, saying this tax relief I already studied. So if the exact question come out in the examination, everything I know how to write. Because I target this question. So this is the method you study lah. So for example, we go to building technology. I say I want to ask for window. They will ask for window. What is window? Okay, then the question will be picked from the search for what are the windows. Window question. 5 types of window, 2024. So they ask this type of question. A window can be defined as an opening in the wall, door, and roof that all allows the passage of light, air, and sound. With 8 of diagrams, explain 5 types of windows. So you got to draw 5 types of windows, no? 5 different types of windows, and then you explain why is that window. Okay? So ini senang lah kalau you like to draw lah, but you don't like to draw, sorry lah, very hard. So what are the 5 types of window? Casement window, sliding window, Owning window. So you see, you already know ma. Correct not? Very easy ma. The thing is, when you go for examination, for building tech, you need to draw ma. So you need to bring your color pencil, whatever marker, ink, whatever lah. Then you go in and then you take out paper, you draw lah. For this question, you got to draw. For example, this is one question. Then you want to see the answer for other questions. You can see in my example here.
They want to ask the window for what?
The giving the notice of that.
So
my sayo lah, mathematics I don't know.
no. I know your concern also. Mathematic calculation I will show you later. But then window, this type of question window actually repeated every year one. Almost every year ask you the same question. So of course you can pass ma. Sure you can pass lah. You don't tell me you cannot draw ma kan. So you go back and you start drawing window. You start drawing door, right? Start drawing roof, right? Then when it comes to exam, same question come out, you just draw only lor. Sure you pass ma. Correct not? So very easy. So I think this methods, I told you already, this method you can easily study lah. Now I show you the difficult one. Okay, this is text. So now, this type of question, I'm sure you never seen before lah. You see this question? Like that type of question. Kia Sdn Bhd is a controlled company formed on the 1st of March 2015 with a payout capital of 200,000 ordinary share at 1 ringgit per share unit. Honey Enterprise owned 40,000 share unit in the company. On 1st of January 2016, Kia Sdn Bhd acquired an interest in a real property worth 700,000. On that, the total tangible asset of the company was worth 860,000. So you read also, you already pening. What is this all about? Correct not? Because this is actually real property gain tax on a company, a controlled company. Many of us never handle this type of case. When you are a controlled company, more than 75% of your assets are actually in real estate. Then you are a controlled company. All your selling of your property in the company, it has to pay RPGT, and therefore you need to calculate in terms of moving of the share. When the company move the share over to somebody else, when they actually sell their share, it's actually almost like selling property inside a company because your company owns a lot of real estate. So imagine if I buy a piece of land and I actually put this piece of land under my company, Sdn Bhd, 100% 100 share in my company, and I own this property inside my company. If I transfer 100% share to say Jimmy, I transfer to Jimmy, then straight away this property on my Jimmy already. Correct not? Because I sell my share to Jimmy, so Jimmy 100% owns the company and therefore he owns the property. Right? So if this thing can be done without having to pay RPGT, government is going to lose a lot of money. Right? So when I transfer 100% share to Jimmy, it's as if I actually sold the property to Jimmy now. So that part, the government must tax you, to tax you RPGT. So that part is controlled company. So this type of question, if you happen to see, do you want to answer? Choose not to answer lah. Because you have 7 questions you only choose 5
Last year ada masuk.
Ada masuk
Number one, you answer kan?
Bagus, tak asal.
Correct lah.
That's why it's tough if you have this type of question, then you choose not to be you are not purposely wanting to target. They say you don't want to target this type of question, then you just avoid because you 7 you cut one already, only 6 to choose. Now 6 you cut another one, no more choice. Okay, this example of how a calculation question can come out. Right, then I show you another easier type of calculation question. This one. RPGT on RPGT question again. So this one is transactional. Okay, He said, Summer Sendirian Berhad bought 2 units of industrial building from Hana Development Sendirian Berhad, or Development Berhad on November 2015. Then later on, paid how many percent? Then in June, what happened? Explosion happened. Okay, and then they have to do back, to build back, renovate back, and then the whole cost how much and blah blah blah. Then they say that determine the total amount of tax that is needed to pay. So this is like you bought a property and then your property got damaged by certain thing, and then you rebuild back the property. After that, you sell the property, right? And then all this, how do you handle all these changes in expense, whether taxable or not taxable lah. So this is a type of question you got to calculate lah. So here got calculation lah. Agent's fee how much, valuer fee how much, stamp duty how much. This type of calculation lah. It's not like mathematics as in A plus B equal to how much. It's not. There are transaction issue, there are stamp duty paid, there are valuer fee paid, there are agent fee paid. So why are they able to get deducted? So your idea is you want to minimize your tax. You don't want to pay so much tax. So all these expenses, can it be taken as to reduce your profit or not? So all that is calculation. Also, you need to understand all these things in treatment of how to count. How to count. So this one is RPGT lah. Then I will show you marketing question. So marketing, I will go to maybe earlier question, easier, 2018. So they will ask you this type of question. 5 steps in marketing processes. Elaborate the difference between marketing and marketing management. Elaborate the 5 steps of marketing processes. So it can be seen here. If you can get the answer like that. This one similar question was asked, right? And this one 5 steps of marketing. There are many links. So all these links will give you the answer. So if you really search my website, I would not want to rewrite the whole thing again. So I will put a lot of links because the answer actually is the same one answer because it's a repeat question. So I can tell you now, if you do this exam, actually 40% repeat one. The question 40% repeat. Sometimes even 50% repeat. But why people still fail? Why people still fail? Because you are comparing your answer to a competitor answer. The examiner is marking, not marking only yours. He's marking the whole stack of answer, right? Other people can write better than you. So that is why, although you may know the answer because it's a repeat question, but your answer is not up to their mark because there is a bell-shaped curve. Okay, this is a bell-shaped curve. You understand? So there will be people who are doing very poorly, but there are people who are doing average, and people doing very good. Also, people who are very near to zero, people who are very high marks. So you are actually at the middle. So if they were to collect numbers of students and then they give marks, then you will be likely you try to fall in between here, just to the higher mark side, like that. So you know the answer, you can repeat the answer well. That means you can memorize the answer and then vomit out everything. Then you will be on the winning side. Okay. So this is a website where you can see the question answer from the part 1 list down. All here is all the past year, and then you have the mock exam. Last year we did the mock exam. Let's say we go to Introduction to Law mock exam. So last year when they were doing it, then I did a mock exam on this, and this was provided with answer one. So some of the questions are my answer, my answer lah. Some of it is actually last minute ChatGPT answer. Okay? You can use ChatGPT to study also. My advice to you is that use the whatever method in the website under search, and then if you want to verify the answer, whether answer is good enough, you can use ChatGPT. At the end of the day, you cannot remember everything. You cannot remember everything. The technique is you must remember the key thing, so that when you go into the exam, you know how to produce a good result, a good answer. Okay, so this is for read and reproduce. Read and reproduce. Another part is when you listen. Listen, you under video. So under the video, there will be the different video that I have done. This is a whole lot which I have done in the YouTube. 200-300 video inside. So you can go to many of my website. So if you are keen, you can go to my other website. called My Real Property Online. So this website has got a lot of good material. And this is another website, findhui.info. So this website, under here you can also search. Let's say you want to search about land. Also you see video which is about land, landlord and tenant, contract land property compared. So all those things which is my previous learning. So I always learn, and when I learn, I put into website lah. So the other part is this particular website Findhui. Under the Findhui, there will be video series, the Findhui series. So under the Findhui series, there is 22 chapters, all about real estate lah. So this one, a lot of topic inside, including what is caveat, what is classification, category, extension. I mean, the other things which is related to practice, related to practice, all are in the video lah. This one is more for your practice if you want to learn. Okay. So far, this is inside the video here, and then the individual topic, like last year we have the private access 2025. So now we're going to start a new one called 2026 private access. So this private access will be all the video here. So like first video on the land, on the hierarchy of courts. So here will be the video for the presentation slide, and then the video in private. So this was last year video lah. So all this video will be useful for you. This video is private because I have to sign in as to view this video, or I need to sign in as a user for that video lah. Anyway, here is video, all the video here, and then all the exam related matter here. Okay, and if you want to see the other things, it's all around here lah. MEAS in part 2, you need to know about the standard over here, and then to do the TPC to qualify, and then the registration of as an estate agent. Okay, so now we go back to our today's presentation. So far, you know what are the methods you study? You come here, you roughly get the knowledge in the framework, okay? You go back, you go to the website, look at the past year, okay? Past year question, you will select compartment, different compartment study, right? Then you come back here, we will do the topic as in syllabus. What are the topics so that you know your area to study lah. Then you look at the video where you can see the previous video as well as the teaching now. Also the teaching now, so that you know, repeat, you repeat in the memory lah. So these are the 3 methods that we do until June. Then from July and August, we will be here doing mock exam. Also, I give you mock exam question, you do, it's like almost you are sitting for the exam. Then I will do the marking for your mock exam. Then you know where about you are. Okay. Then September you go for the exam lah. Then the result come out when? Result come out usually the last week of December. Last week lah. So usually around 20 something lah. Because why? You know why or not? All these results need to go through the board meeting. Need to go through the meeting inside the board of valuer. Also, the board of valuer, they have the examination committee. The examination committee must approve the result. So this result will be approved in the meeting. So it depends on the December meeting. So if the meeting in December cancel, sorry, you don't get your result until January. So some of the years, you get your result very late. So how do you know when you get your result? You go back to my website. Under this website, you go and look for exam. And then you see exam notification page, exam date and result announcement date. Okay, so in this I have collected last 10 years result announcement. 2014 result out on 2015 March. 2015 result out March also. So only recently the result come out in December. Okay, so roughly you will know your result around December, and for you all to see the result, of course, is a emotion. And if you can, of course, you want to pass every subject lah. But if you cannot pass all, then you have a time of appeal. Or you can write in to appeal. So the appeal is 1 month after you receive your result. Okay, you are not happy with the result, you appeal. And usually by end of that 1 month, then you will be starting the new year already. So in this case, the new batch who want to register as a student, they will start registering. So now you can start registering as a student to have the BIS. You know how to register? You go to LPPEH, BIS.gov.my. So bis.lpeph.gov.my. You go to this particular website and you need to register as a register. You click the register. Then in here, member registration, you choose what? Profile registration for examination. bis.lpeph.gov.my. So here, under here, profile for registration, you register, have an account first. So if you are already a RAN, can you log in or not? I don't think so lah. You don't have the BIS as a RAN. So you need to register as a examination first. Then what happens is, in the future, this examination thing, inside there you can go in. If you are a RAN, it will come out as a RAN. You are a RAN sitting for exam. Okay, until you finish all the examination, you want to become a probationary agent, right? So you have to tell the board. Board will put up a link for you to click that link. So you upgrade yourself from a RAN to become a probationary estate agent. Then you only have one account as a person, individual having one account. Then after that, then you go for your training, correct not? You go for your TPC, correct not? After that, you become a REA, correct not? So it's the same account. You become a REA in the future, they will delete your probationary agent and you have the full license. So you want to see my license, you want to see my login, you can come here. I show you how my login is like. So this is my personal one. Okay. So this is my name, correct not? My profile. So you see my profile. So my name, everything there. Okay. So you see the member account, down there, a member account. So you will be able to see my PA license. See my PA license 2066. When was it? 18th of July 2018. So in 2018, July 18, I got my PA license. But now it's inactive, correct not? Now inactive. Why? Because I already an estate agent, my e-agent, so my number already replaced this one. So if you are a RAN and then later on become a PA and later on become an estate agent, all the record will be here. All the record you can see. So you can see my renewal, license renewal payment. Every year they record down from 2021 until 2025. So of course I renew in November. So you can see my license expiry is December this year, 2026. So this is individual login. Individual login. Now if I now have a license, I want to set up my company. Also Sinjun. So now Sinjun, I can set up my company. My company is e-license company, right? So my company name is this number. So I log in. So this is a company account. This one is not individual account. Okay, this is a company account. Now in the company account, you can see the company under company, firm account. So in this firm account, I am already renewed 2026. Renew already, approved, renew paid. So I am now in accordance with the law, also a renew for 2026 practice. Okay, what are the RAN that is under my company? These are the RAN under my company. All red. Why all red? Belum renew. Your RAN tag belum renew. So I don't think any one of you here renew your RAN tag yet. Belum kan? Your rented renew already or not? Baru saja. Because there is a lot of queue, a lot of people are waiting for renewal. Mine, I try to renew, but it's not yet renewed because they have so many to clear. So this is your company punya account. Your company punya account. And why is this one active? Why is it one active? Why is he active? Because he joined after October. So when you join after October, your rent tag until next year end. That's why he is still active. Okay. So this is firm account. Okay. So under firm account is when your firm is formed. Your firm is formed, then they give you this account. Okay. Understood? Alright. So now we back to this website. So this website will be able to cover you from studying until you become PA, until you become a registered agent. What are the things that you're supposed to do? Okay. Alright. So now we go back to this particular syllabus thing. Okay. So now we are here, January 2026, right? Then we will do a few paper which are harder paper account, law, marketing, and tax. Then leave the easier paper to the end. Because the easier paper, not so worried. I'm not so worried. I'm more worried about difficult paper because you have problem with difficult paper, right? So we want to concentrate on the difficult paper. And we hope to achieve half, 50% of the paper at least by the mid of the January to March. So it's quite difficult, as we say. It's 5 plus 4 plus 4. It's only 13 classes. 13 classes, we want to finish 3 subjects, especially law, tax. These are subjects quite difficult to finish. Quite difficult to finish. So I would say I push on, but when not enough time, then we delay a bit. We delay a bit also okay because June still quite far, and if July still okay not yet exam. Exam is September. So we should be okay. So complete 6 subjects by end of June, and then the exam will be September 2026. So actually we give about 2 months of mock exam and preparing for the exam. So far okay?
No.
Not okay. Okay lah.
What the DC one?
Which one?
The account law, tax, the last one.
Building technology 1. Okay. So what you need to do, okay, material, I would not advise you to buy any book I do not advise you to buy any book. But if you can buy this particular book, buy this book, commercial law. This book.
Borrow your book.
You can borrow my book, no problem. But if you can buy on Shopee, you buy this book. This book I find is good. The rest of the book no need to buy. The rest of the book no need to buy. And accounting books, I will recommend you, if you all study accounting before, then you expect your old book. Because very basic. Accounting is very basic. And then if marketing, a lot of time people say I will use a Philip Kotler book. Philip Kotler, if you study marketing before, Philip Kotler is the guru in marketing. You can use his book, yes, but then the thing is it will be too thick to go through. A lot to go through. I don't think so. You need to study like that. Then syllabus, we will spot question and we will try and select topic. And then the third part is we have to practice. Don't just talk. We have to write and do answer. Memorize and reproduce. The keyword is to reproduce your answer. Okay. So 6 subjects. First, we go to accounting. We go to accounting. So now accounting, I will not be teaching you because my accounting very bad. My son will be teaching. But my son's accounting is from the SPM Bahasa Malaysia one. And he answered his accounting in Bahasa Malaysia one. So I would say you just need to know basic So in the last year, 2025, I think we have almost all passes for accounting. I think 1 or 2 fail only The reason why they fail is probably they never do accounts before. So basic thing would be quite easy to do So accounting means what? From the accounting theory to financial ratio, basically very basic accounting. Now same thing, 5 answers out of 8 questions, 20 marks each. Essay writing and calculation. So what are the things that usually they'll ask in terms of our preparation will be we complete the syllabus and we will do some exercise in mock exam and then we customize for every window. I mean if you are weak in accounting and then you need to have more time for doing accounting. So a few good questions to answer to do well. Okay, what are the syllabus in a 3-hour accounting subject? It's actually very easy. The only thing I must say about accounting is there will always be two very easy questions. One question will be on accounting theory and concept. Another question will be giving you about 10 different transactions, ask you to say where is debit, where is credit. Very easy, I give you. Buy a stationery for your office. Is it credit or debit? Buy stationery by cash. So cash is out, stationery come in, right? Out means credit, in debit. So you debit your stationery account, you credit your cash account. So easy, that easy, kan? So this type of question, and then the other one is the theory question, accounting theory question. Give the different aspect of the accounting theory, consistency, it is accuracy, all that very standard answer. Okay, then you have the equation, accounting equation. The capital, then you have the asset plus whatever, asset plus capital equal to equity or something. So that one is accounting equation. Then you need to understand journal. What is journal? What is ledger? Accounting book, very good. But the answer I want you all to understand is journal is just every day I record. I don't care about whether it is which account, as long as I put it down. So just now we went to minum, right? So we said we spend money to minum. So put down kopi, how much, teh, how much. Just put like that. Then later on, you may want to put kopi in one ledger. All the kopi in one ledger, and all the teh in another ledger. Right? So journal is the first entry book. So when you record entry, journal is to record every entry. But then the entry is kalang kabut, correct? Not campur all together one. Then you put down into different ledger. So for estate agents purpose, estate agency account, you got what? Booking, kan? People put booking, right? You got what? Payment of commission, correct not? You pay to your negotiator commission, right? Then you have transaction that you invoice your client, right? You invoice for what? Invoice for professional fee, right? Then you have what? Rental, kan? Rental cases, you have subsale cases, right? So all this, when you record down in one page, that is journal. Today I receive money, booking, you record. Today I invoice someone for professional fee, I record. Then I have rental, how much I collected, rental income, you record. Then later on you put it into different ledger. This one is subsale ledger. This one is rental ledger. This one is expense ledger. Expense for you spend money like buying stationery. So that is accounting, correct not? So that part you need to know. So if you know all these things already, 50% done already. You pass already. But if you want to be a good accounting student, then you study profit and loss, balance sheet. Why? Because you want to complete all those transactions, right? To calculate whether you are making a profit or not by end of the year, right? You need to put up an account so that next year you go to declare your tax, right? Like for example, Sinjun has got subsale, Sinjun has got rental income, rental cases, Sinjun has got expenses, rental for this building, all that. You plus, everything, whether Sinjun is making money or not. So that is a profit and loss account, right? Then you put into the asset and the liability, everything under balance sheet. Then whole thing become a complete account already. So that is supposed to be what you are supposed to know. As an asset agent, you don't need to be an accountant, but you need to know how you work out your account so that every year you can pay your taxes, correct? Then other than that, you have extra. Extra, if you are an accounting student, when you do an accounting job, then you need to know all this, how to adjust depreciation, where are the thing, the return, all that problem. That one I don't know. I don't like to do all that thing. So that type of thing, when people put in, let's say you buy car, you buy your truck, and then you running around using the truck under the company, so the car would depreciate, the truck would depreciate. So when it depreciates, then you cannot put it into balance sheet as the original price. It already depreciated so many years. Computer, used for 10 years already, depreciated until maybe no value already. Your book value will be very, very little. So, but then your balance sheet should reflect that. So that is balance sheet. Then your reconciliation, your financial ratio. So these are the three I would recommend no need to study. No need to study because question will come out. But I don't think so you will be that accounting standard to do that type of question because you are not accountant. So you just need to know the basic, how you put in your account books. So this is example of how I want you all to compartmentalize your learning. So that certain thing, don't waste time. Don't waste time because you don't need that to pass. Okay? So this is how the question can come out. Concept question, every year got. Equity, asset question, every year got. Ownership question maybe less. Journal, every year ask. Ledger, every year ask. Cash book, every year ask. So you just do this part. This one, no need to worry. This one all inside the Google Drive, so you all can log in later. I get your email already. You all can log in and see the Google slide. So accounting, I will rest assure you that it's getting harder to pass, but in a way it's not difficult to pass. Accounting theory, you target one question. Credit debit, you target one question. Cash book, you target one question. Ledger, you do one question. Maybe do a bit of profit and loss. You pass already. You pass this paper. Okay? Any question on accounting? Anyone here accounting background? SPM, sure pass. If you got SPM, just like my son, your teacher, the teacher also same level like you. Sure pass. Okay? Those no accounting background yes, take your accounting SPM accounting book. Just SPM level. Boleh punya. Now, this is a tough paper. If you have not learned about law, you never studied law before, this is the tough one. So law got a lot of things to study. Here is only the 5 parts. Actually, I would say law may need 6 parts. Never mind, we just talk about those under one, with legal system under court system. Legal system including things like what is a written law, what is unwritten law, what is the hierarchy of courts, the legislation. Malaysia, how do you go to parliament, parliament pass the law. So those things, that is the basic of law. Okay, at least you know what are the system in Malaysia that handles legal dispute, dispute in the legal sense. Then you need to know about contract. What is contract? Contract is in everyday our job. When you get appointed as an agent, there is a contract. Then under the contract, there is the sub area called agency contract. So agency contract is a part X of the Contract Act. What is Contract Act? Contract Act is a thin book, not very thick. Contract Act is only this thing. Okay? And I tell you, many people fail. Why? Because you really have to remember some of the parts, the clauses inside the Contract Act. Okay? So this book, very easy to buy. Go to MPH. Or go to any of the popular bookstore, in the one particular shelf, all the law book there. You just go and look for this type of book. Very cheap also. This one is only how much? I think it's 12 ringgit 50 cents. So you need to get one piece if you really want to study in detail. So you can also download. You can also download in the internet. It's all PDF copy now. All PDF copy. Okay. So under the Contracts Act, there is the Part X, which is at the back. Part X, Part X of the Contract Act. So that is agency contract. So that is the second part, which is under the contract. There is agency contract. So So all these books you can buy at any place in Kuching, not an issue. You can buy also as under Shopee. Then, as an estate agent, you need to understand certain area of what we call tort law. What is tort law? T-O-R-T. Here the word is negligent, right? So you need to understand certain part of tort law which is about professional practice. Or the question will always be asking about, if you are a doctor, you are a professional, then is your liability higher? What is the standard on saying that you are not right, you are doing something wrong? So that is actually under tort. Tort law and contract actually are twin. They are twins. One is on written one, the other one is not written. Not written is tort, written one is contract. So if I have no contract with you as a landlord and tenant, if you are my tenant, I'm your landlord, the whole process is what? It's a contract. It's a contract because it's written and they have tenancy agreement, right? But if myself as a landlord, I go into your house during the time where you are taking bath and then half naked, then you will be suing me for what? For tort. Why? Because never had a contract with you that I should not go into your house, your privacy kan. I should not go into your house without you notifying me to go in or allowing me to go in. So that relationship is actually tort law. So I cannot infringe your privacy. You were taking bath half naked. So that is not written in the contract. Right? That is tort. Right? So this is tort law. So you need to understand tort law because as a professional agent, you need to know where about your boundary, your professional boundary. Also, as an agent, you are expected to behave like an agent, a professional. So if you behave wrongly, then it is sue under tort, negligent. Okay. Then you have the last one, which is arbitration. What is arbitration? In your job, you know that there are a lot of time there is dispute, correct or not? And the dispute go to where? In your job. You usually won't handle you go to court, the lawyer go But if you were able to, as an agent, appear in a hearing, where about you go? No. Where about you go? For example, strata building leaking. Upper unit leaking down the lower unit. The lower unit angry, and then they sue. They go to where? To your tribunal. Do they go to court? No, right? So that is equivalent of arbitration. Arbitration is a form of court, but then this does not need to go to court. So you go to a third party or an intermediary who actually regulate or mediate or arbitrate. So this is arbitration. Also, arbitration is an important area for estate agent. Why? Because a lot of time you don't go to court. If you can, you try not to go. You try not go to court because go to court costs money a long time. So arbitration will be simpler, better. So one of the example of arbitration in our job is actually doing strata tribunal. Also, there is the tribunal between developer and the buyer. So there is the development type of they call it the home tribunal. The home buyer tribunal. Okay, so this is arbitration, right? Arbitration. So when you are in arbitration, you don't go to court. But there are certain areas where in the arbitration, it is not fair to either party. They can say, I don't want to continue this arbitration. I want to go to court. I want to go to high court. So they have every reason to go to high court. But arbitration being arbitration, they will not allow you to go to high court when you are within the confined scope. And this confined scope in arbitration is for a benefit of what? A benefit of that you do not need to publicize. So when you have dispute between two parties and these two parties have a reason not to publicize it, not to tell everybody, so you have a closed door. You have a closed door arbitration rather than go to court. When you go to court, it becomes reported. Anyone can come into the court unless you are under minor. You are, let's say, bully case where the victim or where the person involved, the particular case is minor, below 17 years old, then you can say no public can come in, no publication. no social publication or no publicity. So that is protected by the law. But in a normal dispute, when you go to court, anyone can go to and listen to the court hearing. So if you are trying to keep a good reputation for yourself, and especially you are big company, you don't want people to know. So you would choose arbitration so that you have a closed door dispute resolution. Closed door dispute resolution. Okay? So we understand law will be a lot to study, so we will have a lot to do lah. You may have to write a lot, and you may have to learn how to write. So syllabus, 3-hour paper, the machinery of government, the separation of power, the legislation, and then the courts, the hierarchy of the courts. And you need to understand the relationship of the state government and the federal government, function of the central government, and there is a source of Malaysian law. Also, this actually can consist of 1 to 2 questions. So the different type of background of the law, how law came about in Malaysia. Okay, then you need to study contract. Contract is a very big part of our job. If no contract, no need to have agent. Because the moment you get appointed, the first thing is contract is under agency contract. Agency contract, appointment authority, revocation, all that is all under Agency and Contract Act. Then after that, you need to study the principle of affecting your work, affecting tort, affecting land, negligence, nuisance, trespass, strict liability, remedy. Then the last one, arbitration. So let's say if you look at this syllabus, okay, quite a lot. Actually, you have 5 parts already. But first part is something to do with the background of the legal system. Second, contract. Third, agency. Fourth, tort. 5, arbitration, right? So if you want to study all these things, maybe a lot to study, you cannot finish. So you choose to do without certain things. You don't want to study so many things. So I would recommend you choose not to do arbitration. Because sometimes the 7 questions come out, this will be 2 questions, or this will be 2 questions, and then this is 1 or 2 questions, then this is 1 question, this one always 1 question, this one always 1 question. So for the purpose that you say, arbitration, I got to remember so many things, I don't want to do lah. So don't do arbitration. Then you only study the top 4. The top 4, out of the 5 questions you answer 3 good answer. Answer 3 good answer, you pass already. Okay? Law. Alright? Alright. We understand legislation, hierarchy of court. This one may be 1 question. You target 1 compartment. Then you have to target 1 compartment for contract. So what does it mean by contract? Study contract. What is the difference studying contract and studying agency contract? Contract is what? They can ask you element of contract. What are element of contract? What are the things that should be there for you to have a contract? You must have what?
2 parties.
Very important one. Offer, correct.
Acceptance.
Oh, very good. Wow, you already Google, ChatGPT. So, consideration, intention. See, 5 answer already. So if they ask you a question, list out the elements of contract. So at least you must know the 5, right? Then if you can write in a storytelling sense, then you give all the elements already, then you say, illustrate it in the below processes. I get a buyer to offer. Then the offer was accepted by the owner. Then owner received a booking, which is a consideration. And both parties will have what? Intention to come to a contract and certainty. And the capacity, they cannot be minor. Cannot be less than how many years old? Cannot be less than how many years old? 18. Why? Age of Majority Act. So all these things you have to write lah. So when you give this type of answer already, imagine the examiner, very clear. Every bit of it is marked. Ting, 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 ting. You pass already, but you don't know, you goreng, correct not? And then you goreng, and then the thing is that when he reads, this one not clear. Sometimes even confused. So when he thinks that you confused already, sorry, he won't pass you. So you have to be clear, very point form, and able to give an example. So unless I think most people would not avoid contract and agency contract lah, because this one will contribute you 3 questions usually, 3 questions out of the 5. Then you choose the other 2 from here lah. One is the legal system, another one is thought. Example of how they ask you thought. How do they ask you question like thought question? Your neighboring house got a rambutan tree. The rambutan tree leaf fall into your house, and the roots, the rambutan tree root already affected your building. So what is the thought? Thought is this thought lah, nuisance. From the opposite, the nuisance that interfere your private space. Okay, principle of economics. So now we are about 1, so I will finish by 1:30. Can go back. So now we got how many subjects? Another 4 subjects. Because just now taught you about accounting, taught you about law. Now we got another 4 subjects to finish in more than half an hour lah. So here we are talking about economic, very simple, straightforward. Actually talking about very simple thing, government policy, microeconomics, talk about fiscal monetary policy, talk about how it's going to affect you as an estate agent. Also, how the government introduce policy that will affect real estate market lah. Okay, so when market is good, then government need to stop the overheating. They have to increase the interest rate so that not everyone can borrow money, so that the money cannot be so much giving out to borrow, to allow people to borrow, and the bubble keep on growing. Like what happened in some places like China last few years, that big company go bankrupt, Evergrande go bankrupt. So all these things you need to understand what is the basis of the economic reason behind. Okay. So this is government intervention, macroeconomic and macroeconomics, how economic policy affect your job as an estate agent. So this one is all goreng. Goreng one. So you must relate how the actual happening. So if you can describe why government need to stop this so-called overheating. So sometimes how do they stop? They will give less loan. Right, government will increase interest rate, less loan will be given, less approval, right? Then you have lower demand for it, and then therefore it's not overheating. So how come they want to put in fiscal policy? What is a fiscal policy? Fiscal policy is taxes, taxes, subsidy, import duty, and all that thing. So now you know what happened in US, right? Trump is doing what? Tariffs. So tariff is another method. How do you control market? Also by leveling, by levy or by taxes on import goods, then less people can import and can afford China goods. So that it improve the local businesses, more production of goods in US, because US produced goods are expensive, right? So if you say I have a tariff for imported China goods, then it means that less China good will come in, because very expensive to come in, right? Then you promote your local manufacturing. So that is the economic policy that the government wants to improve local back to US, bring back the glory days. The Trump always say, bring back the glory days of the US. So that is economic in terms of how question can be asked. They can ask you question also like, how is Malaysian policy, Malaysian plan, the 5-year plan, right? The Malaysian 5-year plan got 11, I think now it's 13 or 14, the Malaysian plan. So they can ask you this type of question. So you got to go back and read what is Malaysian plan. Since independent, every 5 years we got plan. Okay, so generally question what type of economy is Malaysia, interest rate, employment, fiscal, monetary, tax rate, central bank, merchant bank. So easy to pass. Okay, easy to pass. There's one question that usually they will ask, is the elasticity of goods. So is real estate elastic or inelastic? Is car elastic or non-elastic? Jewelry elastic or not elastic? So real estate is the most inelastic. Why is it most inelastic?
Illiquid.
Huh?
Take long time to sell off, so turn into cash.
So we will go into economic, then you understand lah. But now I give you the answer lah. Why real estate is inelastic is because real estate is limited. You cannot create, you cannot put more real estate. Real estate is always finite. You have how much of land? Let's say in Sarawak, you have this piece of land lah. It's not because you have higher price that you can make more land to sell, right? For example, if the car price is good, then I manufacture more car lah, right? Then it becomes elastic, right? Because your effect of pricing will affect your supply lah, right? But then real estate cannot. How are you going to create more land unless you reclaim land lah from the sea, right? So reclamation of land in the sea is the only thing that you can do to have more land. So land is a very inelastic commodity lah. Understand that? So that is how you got to understand economics so that you understand how it is used in your job as an estate agent. Okay? Right, so same thing, we focus workout answers. Syllabus, nature of the economic problem, then the price mechanism, demand, supply, and then they talk about equilibrium, price elasticity, utility theory, income and price elasticity. I told you already just now, is real estate elastic? This is an example of how question can be asked. Price elasticity of supply. Okay, then you have macro elasticity, monetary fiscal graph theory. Sometimes they will ask question with graph one, or marginal cost, marginal kind of this kind of thing. So imagine a diminishing return. What is diminishing return? So in this room, we have how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 person. So we can produce certain output. Now, if I were to put another 8% here, can we still produce double? Then if I were to put another 8, so it becomes 3 times already. Then is our output equivalent of 3 times? 3x. It may not, right? Because why? Because it become crowded. Become crowded, I cannot move. Although I can produce, but I cannot fully utilize the space anymore because the space is limited to me. So as you increase manpower to a certain level, it plateau. Your output stay not able to increase. So there is this economic reason that you cannot keep on pushing. So you keep on pushing, it will have a diminishing return. So all this, all studied by our previous guru already, all this theory all already proven already. So all this you need to understand so that you see the aspect in the real estate, in the real estate market, you can understand why is it like that. So you can see how government do policy to improve the system. Okay, all right, we go to tax. Now tax, I told you already, we need to study 5 laws. What are the 5 laws? Stamp Act, RPGT Act, TCPA, ITA, and LG. LAA is more into D10. What is LAA? D10 is next year. So you know the coding of our exam. Coding of our exam, accounting is the first paper, D01. Diploma 01. Number 2 paper 02. Diploma D02, law, introduction to law. So number 1 to number 6, D06 is what? Building Tech 1. So after D06, you go to part 2, is D07. D07 is land economics. D08 is estate agency law. D09 is valuation. D010 is law relating to property. D11 is estate agency practice. And D12 is building technology 2. So you understand the coding. So here, when you look at taxation, the taxation syllabus is huge. It's huge, a lot to study. Some of the topic can be crossing over one. So example for TCPA, Town and Country Planning Act, which affect the taxation paper, it also affect the estate agency practice paper. Estate agency practice paper, there will be one question on Town and Country Planning Act. Similarly, the LAA is what? Land Acquisition Act. When you acquire land. So now a lot ART, right? ART acquiring land, government acquiring land to build ART station. So that is the act that regulate the way that government can take back land, right? To acquire your land. So this, it may involve taxes, correct not? Because it tax it tax your land, so there is a calculation of taxes. How much taxes? And here it also involved in the law relating to property, because law relating to property, which is the part 2 paper, they talk about one chapter, one area where how do you handle as an estate agent, how do you handle land that is under acquisition? Can you sell land under acquisition? Can or not? Section 47. Can. Very good. Can. But you cannot sell when it's section 48. Section 48 you cannot sell anymore. So what are the things that when you handle land acquisition, what are the things that as an estate agent you must know? How much is it going to be compensated, right? Because my owner want to sell, but then there is the compensation that it will be future, kan? That compensation how much? So that when the buyer buys, there is a purpose of buying, or else buyer buy, pay a fee, and then later the compensation is so little. Then the buyer say, I don't want to buy, right? So all this you need to understand what are the rights and the right of compensation. So that is under the Land Acquisition Act, under paper 2, under part 2, which is under law relating to property. But then it's only one question. Normally asked in paper part 2, paper law relating to property, paper D10. Okay, so repeat topics would be always repeat on RPGT, stamp duty, kadaran, which is rating under what? Under your cukai pintu. Cukai pintu is not a transactional tax, it's a maintenance tax. That means you maintain your house, you got to pay every year, twice in a year for our Sarawak side, in the month of when? May and October. Okay, then you need to know about development charge. What is development charge? Is it premium? What is the difference between development charge and premium? So when you are handling land, if you are an estate agent doing land deal, then you need to know when you want to sell a piece of land, the buyer may want to know, actually, how can I develop this land? What is the benefit for me if I buy this land? What are the potential future gain, right? Future gain means, can I develop what? So when you develop, when you propose to the government will want two parts of the taxes. One part of the taxes is the premium on the land. Meaning to say, if you were to change it from the purpose of use, from agriculture to your residential use or your commercial use, that you need to pay premium, right? So that is premium. But however, so when you develop it as a residential housing estate, then the government say, I need to charge you development charge for what? For doing up the road system, doing up the longkang, doing up all the area where I want you to make sure when you develop it, I no need to go back and still do the road. I have to pay money. I don't want to pay money. As government, I want you to pay the money to do up the road. But I would not want to see it not happening. I don't want to approve you and then not happening. You later on you say, only the building I do, only the shop lot I do, only the houses I do, but the road system, the longkang, everything I don't want to do. Right? So the government say, no, you pay me development charge. Because I want to see all this covered. So that when I approve you, I have the reservoir of money in the future for development places like road system, street lighting, longkang and everything. Also that is development charge. It's a form of tax. It's a form of tax. Land premium renewal that you all know, when your expiry of the lease, then you need to renew. Or sometimes this land renewal is a question in West Malaysia, a lot of calculation. So in West Malaysia, it's not like Sarawak. For residential, single story, how much? 1,000 ringgit. Right? In West Malaysia, it's not like that. West Malaysia, there is a market value, and you use the market value to calculate your renewal premium. So if you have a land in West Malaysia under residential and its expiry, and you need to renew, then it's based on the market value times 1/3 times how many percent? That is the premium you got to pay, or else your particular house expires in the lease. Okay, so land premium. Income tax relief is simple. We talk about, as an owner of a property, then I earn so much of income. One of it is my rental income, and if I were to be taxed on this rental income, how are the relief I can get as an individual so that I can minimize my tax payment. So if let's say I make 8,000 rental every month, right? I'm not working, my rental income is 8,000 every month. Then I will have per year 8 times 12, 96,000, right? So I have to declare 96,000 to the government. Then in this 96,000, the government have to tax me, kan? If you are salaried man, you're salaried man every month potongan cukai bulanan, right? But you are not salaried man, then they don't tax you, but you still have to report your tax. So how do I minimize my tax? By declaring under Section 4D, under Section 4D the Income Tax Act, that I have rental income of 96,000 a year, and how am I going to reduce the taxation? So personal relief, right? And put in so that you reduce your income tax. Okay. Boleh? Until now, okay? Right, So tax is one of the paper that hard to pass. You need to understand stamp duty. So stamp duty here got a bit difference. You can study stamp duty under stamp duty. Oh, minuman. Wow.
From the shop.
Okay.
Kita lah after class.
Oh, you're doing what? Ko haru
Yes.
You on shop Wow, thank you so much. Okay, so I come back here. Let's not forget minuman getting ready. So stamp duty got two parts. One is the stamp duty as in transactional stamp duty, so which is like what? Like your sale and purchase, right? Sale and purchase, you have the MOT, correct not? MOT is the stamp duty, kan? Then you have another stamp duty that is not it's not the transfer of ownership. It's not the transfer of ownership. It's only like, for example, your tenancy agreement, right? You have to pay stamp duty, kan? Your tenancy agreement is not selling property, kan? So that is a kind of a tax that you got to pay for a particular process, which you call adjudication in law. So that stamp duty, how are you going to calculate? So there are changes in the recent year, in 2025, 2026, that the rental income you got to declare and to stamp all your tenancy agreement. Of course, in this aspect of rental income, in our syllabus, it doesn't include the most recent one, which is SST. So in the most recent, there is another tax called SST, but it's not in the syllabus. Also, when you collect more than 1 million of rental every year, you collect rental of 1 million and above, you got to pay SST. So that SST is not included in our syllabus, so no need to study. Also, when you are a professional, you need to collect SST. As an estate agent, as a lawyer, you need to collect SST. So that particular SST is not in the syllabus. Because why? Because it's about your profession. It's not about the product. It's not about the property. It's not about the property. Only now the SST affecting the rental side, that is under the property, but it's not included in the syllabus. Estate duty is similar to our concern about assessment bill, and all the local government. So that is under the Local Government Act, where kadaran is calculated. How do you calculate kadaran? How do you calculate your assessment? You got to pay cukai pintu. How?
Annual rent value times what?
Annual rent value, how do you divide? So you know annual rental value, right? Very good. Already know annual rental value. So what is annual rental value means what? It means that the house or the property is rented per month, and you collect all the rental per year, how much it is worth, right? So in valuation, there are two types of value. One is annual value, one is improved value. So improved value is what? Improved value is very simple, it's subsale. Improve means when you sell. When you improve your property from land become a building and then you sell it, that is the value that you sell, then it becomes the improved value. So some area of law in Malaysia actually use improved value for assessing the assessment. So the state that use improved value is Johor. Johor uses improved value in their kadaran, in their assessment. So what in the total picture is, as an asset agent, when you handle a property, that property in transaction will attract transactional tax. But when it is not transacted, When it is not transacted, it attracts all these kadaran assessment bill because you need to pay the local government for taking care of what? Taking care of the longkang, taking care of the street lighting, taking care of the road system around your building. So that part of the expenses that the local government actually need to pay the staff to clean the longkang, need to pay the staff for parking, need to pay the staff for street lighting, maintenance, that income from the state government or the local government is charged to the individual owner. How do you call the owner? The holding. The individual holding of the area. When you have a condominium, when you have a landed property, when you have a commercial building, you need to pay the local government for the employment of the staff to take care of that area. So that is how taxes is charged. When the taxes is charged, is either based on improved value, meaning the transactional value, or the rental value, which is called the annual value. Annual value, as what Lawrence said, is per year. So how much you have able to collect rental. So let's say you can collect rental 8,000 a month, then a year is 96,000, right? Then this 96,000, you use a formula to charge to the cukai pintu. Or charge to the cukai pintu. So how is it charged to the cukai pintu? It depends on how it's written in the law, and normally it's divided into a few parts. One of the parts is street lighting, another part is longkang, another part is what. So maybe the percentage charged for street lighting is times 0.5%, times how many percent for longkang, and how many percent for parking, how many percent for what. Then all that is based on the annual value of 96,000 times the percentage. All that calculated, the whole total, it will be a yearly assessment cukai pintu that you need to pay, and divide by 2. One in half year, another one in half year. Also, that is how government, local government act. The local government ordinance in a way give the taxes for you to pay. Land taxes is what we understand as premium, conversion premium. Just now I told you already, when you use as agriculture become residential, then you convert. So you have to pay a conversion premium. And quick rent. Quick rent is cukai tanah. Cukai tanah, which is now we don't pay for residential. But then if you own agriculture land, you own agriculture land, the cukai tanah, now expensive. Yes, they still have to pay. Industrial land, agricultural land, all they still have to pay. But then this part again relate to another part of land law where you understand the classification of land. So land can be classified under what? Correct, very good. So urban, suburban, and kampong land, village land. So when you are town land, you are in the middle of the town. When you are country land, you are far away in the jungle. So your premium to pay, your so-called quick rent to pay, depends on which category are you, which classified area are you. So in Kuching, if you are a country land, kampong land, now they classify you under suburban. And then you are previously suburban, now classify you under town land. Sorry, your premium to pay, your tax to pay 3 times more. So you probably last time pay a few hundred ringgit only per year. Now you got to pay a few thousand per year because you are reclassified under town land. So when the town land become expensive, it means as an agent, you can use it to say that now it is town land. Government recognize it, good location, very near town, so you can sell at a higher price. So you got to understand why all these taxes affect the value. Value of the land. So the lawyer and the valuer, they will look at the legal aspect of the land so that they can give a correct value to the land. So when the land is reclassified as a town land from a country or suburban land, then of course the valuer have to increase the value. Because why? Because there is a higher taxes to pay, right? So that makes the job of a valuer, I can give you a higher value on your transaction. Okay, so income tax we went through already just now for the part that rental income and tax, the ratings, the rates of impost rate, rates, rateable property. So let's say they ask you a question. What are the properties that no need to be rated, no need to pay assessment bill, no need to pay kadaran? Got all this type of property no need to pay. So what are different types? In law, there are a few types. School, no need to pay. Temple, all that, no need to pay. Because why? It's for public use, for purpose of public. Okay, then you have real property gains tax and development charges. So tax, as in here, I put down 6, is a huge topic to really study. So if you really want to pass tax, you really have to go and do the exercises, do the past equation. Okay, stamp duty, local government act, town and country planning, I will put down here 5 So 5 means what? 5 likely questions to come out that you have to target all. Maybe there will be 2 questions on real property gain tax. Okay, sometimes the real property gain tax question is the mixture of stamp duty. They will give you scenario. Like, so example, Ivan sold to Lawrence, and then the property was bought before how much, and later on how much sold to Lawrence. Then they will ask you calculate the taxes involved. So the taxes involved will be what? Stamp duty law, right? Then what will happen to real property gains, right? Stamp duty and real property gains together, because transactional, right? So this one, in the one question, they can ask you 2 topics already. So they can give you 2 scenario question, or they can give you 1 scenario and then 1 theory question. Scenario question very simple, give you a story and then ask you what are the taxes involved, right? Then if you theory on, they will ask you what is annual value, what is like say premium, what is this and that. It's more like asking you a term, a definition, definition. So marketing. All right, so now we have only 10 minutes. So only left with 2 parts. Marketing, there will be question, syllabus, marketing versus selling, strategy, marketing, product mix, marketing mix, and research. So sometimes the question will mix up a bit here and there. But generally, marketing, I would say, theory part, with 1 theory part which is about marketing concept, marketing system in the history of marketing, and later there will be a practice part which is how you apply marketing knowledge that you have in the actual work, in your work as an estate agent. So usually there's 2 main parts. Of course, product mix, marketing mix, these are all marketing terms. You need to understand what are definition behind product mix and marketing mix. Okay, so the 4 P's, you all know about 4 P's. All that is under this. So you have a process, marketing processes. I will teach you later. Also, you understand all these things so that you go to exam, you are clear. So what is segmentation? What is positioning? What is targeting? What is marketing mix, promotional mix, product mix, all that. Okay, so what are the syllabus? Marketing define, objective of marketing, marketing selling, marketing planning, strategic planning, the market, the current market, consumer property, product, what are the product, market research. Last time they used to have a market research question. Now they will ask you, now you want to do a market research, how can you do market research? Is it desk research? You go to the ground, give questionnaire, right? So example, developer give you a job, right? I'm launching a product, a condominium, a service suite. Then they ask you to do market research for that launch. So you'll be like, okay, developer give me this job. Then how I'm going to do? I do desk research first. I go online check who are the similar product launched recent years, right? Desk research. How much is it sold, right? Competitor pricing, all that in your desk job. Right? Then you can go down to supermarket, go down to the site, and then give a questionnaire. That is research on site. Then you can look for what? You can look for third-party consultant who ask for consultants' help, and look at data from other area. Like you work with a valuer to know the valuation report from other type of project around the area. So all that is possible for desk research. In the marketing sense. Okay, then you got segmentation, targeting, and the marketing tools, advertising. This one is promotional mix. And then what are the selling budget? And the last one is what? What is the last one not yet mentioned here? You heard of CRM? Customer relationship management. So there will be probably 1 question on customer relationship management. Also, marketing theories and selling, marketing research, marketing planning, marketing strategy, and CRM. Also, all this is all about possible question that we ask. So they can give you a scenario question. You are appointed by a developer and you are supposed to launch how many units of a condominium, and then what are your marketing plan? What are your marketing strategy? And then you will write two and a half foolscap paper on your marketing plan and marketing strategy. So you know what is SWOT, what is PESTA, SWOT analysis, what is PEST analysis. That you have to use that jargon, that type of marketing words, marketing theory, marketing words to impress the examiner. Okay. Last, building technology. So this is building tech 1, this is building tech 2. So now building tech 1 and building tech 2 always confuse one. Because the examiner, they pick question from a bank, a basket of questions, they just simply pick. And building tech 2 question also come in building tech 1. Building tech 1 question become building tech 2 question. Mix up. But this is the normal one. Building tech 1 is about things you can see. Building tech 2 is about things you cannot see. What are the things you can see? Building tech 1, window, for example. Window, roof. Building tech 2, what are the things that you cannot see? Deep foundation, siphonage, leaking, you cannot see, and septic tank. Septic tank you cannot see, it's all hidden. And building tech 2 also asks questions like ventilation, all your aircon and ventilation, wind and all that, you cannot see. But building tech 1 is very simple, from the wall, from the roof, from the window, from the door, from the foundation. Some of the foundation is on, or you can see one in the steel foundation, rough foundation. So here you need to target a few: window, door, shallow foundation. The deep foundation is in building tech 2 cement, concrete, bonding, bricks. So one of it always ask one is, how do you do your project? Let's say, for example, you are a construction company, right? Then the developer asks you to become the contractor. So you got the job already, right? Say, how are you as a building tech person to ask for a quote? I want to bid for the job. Then you have time of study, the beginning assessment, and then the soil test or whatever, environment impact assessment, and after that you proceed to appointing your contractor, all that, and then you have the project management team coming in. So that process. So this whole thing, one question, is theory question. Then theory question, and then you have another question that asks you to draw symbol. Then have you seen the electrical circuit board? Then you know the diode, the switches, right? Then they will draw switches like symbol, right? Then toilet bowl, how to draw toilet bowl, and then you draw it inside a 2D blank paper. So they will ask you to draw symbol. So symbol for what? Symbol for door. How you draw door in the symbol, like that. Chair, table, like that. Okay. So usually they will talk about project management, flooring, finishing, window opening, roofing, and symbol. Then we will usually do some method of how to draw a floor. So here, general appreciation of the building, general modern building structure, function of the building, and you have material use. Material use. Sometimes they will ask you a question. So now select the tiles for construction of a normal double-story house. Normal double-story house. So you say, I would use tile in the kitchen. I would use tiles in potentially in the car park, right? But then in the bedroom, I would use laminated floor or kind of a wooden floor. So you have the answer like that. So that is building tech. Okay. So project construction stages, foundation types, floor finishes, stairs, ceilings, roof, and window. Okay. Kau team. Chun. 1:30. So any question I can answer, or else I will need you all to do two things. One is you already given me the email address, everything. So I will set up your access to the Google Drive, and I will put up whatever things in the video recording lah. That is one thing. Second thing is to make payment. Okay, make payment. You can always go to our website here. You can do payment on our website using this particular QR code. Under how to pay, you just need to go to how to pay. Under the how to pay, you have the QR code here at the bottom. This is Sarawak Pay. Sarawak Pay, you have the Sarawak Pay there. You can scan and pay. And you can also do online transfer using the public bank one. Also, public bank, we have the public bank account. 323-816-9629. So you do your payment, and when your payment is all done, I will do your setup in the system so that you can log into the system. Okay, so without payment, then I will remove you from the system. You cannot access some of the private area, private parts of the private website, private access. Sorry, I have to do that because a lot of people, when last time I was doing this, I was like helping people. Actually, anyone who just sign in, I let them sign in. But then later on, I get complaint. I get complaint from other people saying that I'm copying their thing. I'm copy and paste or whatever. So I don't want that issue from colleges. Colleges complain about me also before because I'm charging less and their students are coming to my subscription. So I also problem. So let you all understand my situation. So in the previous year, what happened was the people who joined me and we have the class payment, it's 2025. Also, this is how I have my people paying different timing. So when they stop paying, I will have to be fair to those who pay everything. Those who really complete the payment, they have the full access. But the one that halfway drop out, then I will remove them from the subscription. They cannot see certain things. Only to be fair. So here got a lot of them. Many of them actually half drop out. You can see many of them did not pay towards the end because they don't want to come back. They don't want to study anymore. So I can understand your private choice, your personal choice, your individual choice that you may not want to continue studying. I respect that decision. To be fair, those who pay would get all full access. Those who halfway drop out, sorry I have to cut out the access. Yes, okay, so anything else you all want to ask?